So I was briefed that most people in this room are in STEM, in engineering, science, all this. So I'm happy you are the right guys to listen to my talk. But also if you're in business, you're also in the right place because Huawei, as you'll come to see, provides a lot of opportunities. So probably before I speak, maybe you know one or two things about Huawei or you know nothing about Huawei, but it's sort of a household name. So I was given 15 minutes, so I'll try to not go off topic. And I have a PowerPoint, so please feel free to follow along and ask me questions. So my role at Huawei is I'm at the enterprise business. Before that, I will mention that, you can go to the next slide, the first slide rather. So this is Huawei. My position at Huawei is that I'm in the enterprise business group. I'm responsible for a program we call Huawei ICT Academy. So it's a very exciting program that we are running as Huawei. And basically, I work with institutions of higher learning in Kenya. And we have a very clear program for students to benefit from. So I'm actually in the right place, and I hope you can benefit from what I'm going to talk about. So Huawei was founded in 1987. We are a leading global provider of ICT and smart devices. We have over 207,000 employees, and we are in 170 countries and regions. And we serve over 3 billion people across the world. So our vision is to bring digital to every person, home, and organization for a fully connected, intelligent world. So something that I'm very proud of, one of the reasons why I love working at Huawei is that over 50% of our staff are in R&D. I went to China in Shenzhen, and I went to a campus that has 80,000 staff. They are not doing anything, they're just coming up with the technologies of the future. Okay, so it was mind-blowing even for me. I didn't even know that I'm working for this kind of a company. It was really amazing because before that we had COVID, so I didn't really get to travel a lot. But after that, I really went there, and I went to our Southern Africa. Our regional office is in South Africa. I know there is an audience there. Has 10,000 staff. Our Kenya office has about 500. So it's a very interesting organization to work for. So maybe some of you will get to come here. If not, you will be in the industry. And I guarantee you, you will meet one part or one component of Huawei, as I will come to talk about later. So we are number 4 in R&D investment globally. I think that was missed, and hold over 120,000 patents. I mentioned our vision here. You can go to the next slide. So how does Huawei make money, to put it simply? Where is Huawei's revenue? So we have 3 distinct business groups. So you can understand how I know it's a household name. We have Huawei smartphones. So everybody thinks that Huawei just makes smartphones. But actually, if you're in STEM, you do a bit of research, you will find that Huawei has very distinct business groups. So we have our consumer business that serves over a very big population across the world. Retail, you can buy a Huawei smartphone. But we have our carrier business and enterprise business. A little bit less known, especially if you are in school. But if you go out there, and if you go to any carrier network in Kenya or in the region, in Kenya is Safaricom, Airtel, these kind of things, MTN, Rain, Vodacom, all these, I guarantee you, you will find that either their data center, their network, their core network. So we talk about the mobile evolution trend. So 2G, 3G, 4G, and right now we are in 5G, right? Who has a 5G handset? Yeah, a few of us do. I think 5G is still growing on us as Kenyans. In the UK and other Europe, Asia Pacific, 5G is really there. It's been there for a few years. Now we are talking about 5.5G. So, but we have a very good carrier in Kenya, Safaricom. So they have invested a lot. In 2021, they launched 5G. And if you remember that press briefing, did you see who was standing next to Safaricom CEO as they launched this? Maybe no. Maybe you didn't pay attention. Or you were on TikTok. Was it on TikTok? I'm not sure if it was on TikTok. But if you research that in 2021, Safaricom launched 5G in Kenya, which is great. And it was standing next to Peter was our CEO, now it's Mr. Gaofei. Previously was Mr. Meng. So Huawei, and standing next to him was Nokia CEO. So 5G in Kenya is between, the key for Safaricom at least is Huawei, building majority of the core and transmission, and also Nokia for the wireless backhaul. So very interesting stuff. So we are happy to work with our customers. That is our carrier business, okay? So very interesting things. If you are going to work in telecoms, or if you're in telecoms, then Huawei is your go-to place or organization to learn from. So we also have our enterprise business. So our consumer business has 1 or 2 or 3 customers in the market, such as Kenya. But enterprise business is essentially everyone else. So your government, so in Kenya, we've built the National Optic Fiber Backbone, the Government Common Core Network, Konza data center, the largest data center. It's a tier 3 data center. So a lot of interesting things in ICT infrastructure. So this is where Huawei excels, ICT infrastructure. So very 3 distinct groups. We also have digital power. So it's sort of, I wouldn't call it a baby of Huawei, but we are now investing more into clean, green energy. So for example, you can imagine if we have 100 sites or 500 sites that consume X amount of energy. So CapEx is very high for our customers because equipment is very expensive. But OpEx, operational, how can we reduce this recurrent expenditure by cutting costs, helping them cut costs, especially electricity and all this. So we find that in a very large data center like Konza, if they rely 100% on electricity, on the grid, it's going to be a disaster for them in terms of how much money they put in. But if they use clean energy sources, Kenya is very privileged. We have a very good, I think 80% comes from clean energy. So we are sort of good. But in other countries, they run diesel, they run coal. Like South Africa is coal, so it's a challenging market. So clean energy is now Huawei has focused on this, and we have a range of solutions in smart PV, energy, software, and all this. So very interesting. If you're also in energy, we have a full digital power department. I think that's where we met the team from YES when we had a summit, I think in Kenya. So very interesting things. If you're in energy as well, we have a digital power department that behind we have a full range of solutions. So before I conclude, another thing I like about Huawei is that we have end-to-end product, a product portfolio that is end-to-end. So it means that if you look at other vendors in the market, they will probably specialize on one thing, or software, or some part of the network, maybe transmission. But Huawei, we are end-to-end. So we provide the device, the terminal device, we provide the transmission, we have wireless, we have fiber, everything. So also a very good and interesting space for engineers in STEM who want to be in STEM. But enough about Huawei, what are the programs we have for students? So my next slide is during recruitment, these are our focus areas. So telecommunications, of course, we have cybersecurity, electrical engineering, project management, civil and structural engineering, surveying, information engineering, computer science, and automation. So the next slide goes into a little bit more details. So these are your typical careers that we have at Huawei. So big percentage of people working with Huawei are engineers who are working with customers. So for example, in the Kenya office, we come to Huawei, we clock in most of staff, then they go to customer sites. So no one is really working in the office. So essentially these are the typical positions you will have. But of course, we have other positions in procurement, in HR, project management. But wireless engineering, core network engineering, you can take a snapshot and look at it later. IT infrastructure, IT is basically your storage and anything else that is separate from the network. So IT and cloud, I could add that. Data communications, optical networks, software engineering, and all this. I could give a very interesting story. You remember those who are Kenyan, and my time is almost running out. Those who were in 2015, do you remember when M-Pesa came home? Someone is saying yes, but I know that one is not a student. Any student who knows about M-Pesa's journey? None? M-Pesa Africa is very, I know all of you want to work there. It's a great place. So research the M-Pesa journey. So in 2015, they rebranded M-Pesa is running in Kenya, and it's running on a Huawei software solution. Can you imagine that? You know, most guys are like, oh, are you serious? Go there for an industry trip. So also software engineering. So we are keen on that as well. And it's billing software, M-Pesa billing, all these kind of things and also M-Pesa have a new app where you call it, if you look at the new M-Pesa app, you can launch mini apps on that platform, right? You know, you can develop and have your own mini apps there. Yeah, so it's quite interesting area as well for software engineers in the room. The next slide. So this slide, I will take a minute on this. It's our sort of our own theory. So at Huawei, we believe in growing human capital first before financial capital. So we grow human resource. So our engineers, our staff go through regular trainings. So we grow ourselves first, and then we provide value for our customers. So we're very focused on the employees, very good environment. So this is a comparison between what we have or what we are having in most organizations, especially government, state departments. So you do your degree, then if you want to get a promotion, you do your master's, then if you want to go higher, you do your PhD, right? That's the accepted criteria, right? But for us, the future, your value determines the right salary there, yeah, literally determines your salary. So you join Huawei, do you work well under guidance? You join Huawei, regardless of who you are, you will have a direct supervisor. So do you work well under guidance? That's number one. Number two, can you work independently? Maybe after 1 year or 6 months, depending on you, or 2 years, can you be an independent worker? Can you be trusted to do something from end to end? All right? You have a fault at the customer network. Do you just log into the network, or do you know the procedure? Yeah? So it's, can you work independently? Do you understand the rules? And then can you lead other people? Can you be a team leader? If you're in Huawei and you're a team leader, my friend, you are on your way to the top. Okay, can you manage a team? Very simple illustration. And then you can be a domain expert. So you can specialize on a particular product and you're a product expert. So it's a very interesting way. I remember when I went to my HR and told her, it's called Faith, I want to do my master's. Is there anything, when I get it, will my increase salary, blah, blah, blah. She told me, no, there's no such thing. So those of you who want to go into private practice, or at least Huawei or ICT, that is not our general criteria, okay? So provide value for yourselves, work well, be a team leader, and you will see the opportunities come up. So sorry to burst your bubbles. Are there any master's students? Master's is still important. I'm still doing my master's. So it's not an issue of whether you're on master's, but in Huawei, this is sort of the accepted way of moving up. Next slide. So the topic was graduate recruitment. So how does Huawei recruit? We have our official website, career.huawei.com. And for Kenya, those who are in Kenya, this is an annual recruitment. So this year, this is one of the things I will talk about. So this one was in 2023. I don't know how many saw it, but it's, I think, a bit difficult to see from here. But we are looking for electrical engineering, telecommunications, computer science students, second class, upper division, or first class, and you can apply for this program. So once you apply, there's a test that is issued to all the applicants who meet the criteria, the standard criteria, and you have to take the online test, and then you're invited for a physical interview with our engineers, and then you are onboarded. So in 2023, we took 40 positions, and they're doing a 6-month graduate program, and then end of this year, after the 6 months, they will be placed in different departments, either as former staff or lay staff. So the rate of absorption is actually quite high. So unless you want to leave, you will get placement, depending on the number that is issued. So this is the website. All recruitment is here, and the next one will be in April. So this conference is in December. I wish I was here in January, but regardless, we still have April, right? Yes. Secondly, sorry for the issue on the font. How else can you join? How else can you, get into the Huawei ecosystem? We have Huawei ICT competition. So globally, we are running an ICT talent exchange platform and competition platform for students in university. So if you're in here in university, you can join for free. So competition is very, very simple. We have, first of all, I will start with the global impact. We have had almost 500,000 students join the program from 2,000 universities. So if you also want to network with other students from other countries, it's an excellent opportunity. The competition has 3 areas. Practice competition. So practice competition is networking, cloud, and computing. So those who want to learn about networking, those who want to compete, challenge yourself, because this competition you have, it forces you to grow out of your comfort zone, learn new technologies, and then put them into compete against other students who are learning. And then innovation, those who have innovative ideas in AI and IoT, they can also join. And Women in Tech Award. So we have a special category for women. So if you are have a women-only team, then and you reach the global final. So this one is only at the global final stage. Then you can be outstanding as well. So you can see all the countries we are running the competition at. Sorry. Next slide. So the deadline is, so the competition is ongoing. On the top, on the right-hand side, you can see our schedule. So right now, was announced in August, and the preliminary will be in end of November. So this is an ongoing opportunity. So end of November, we are going to have the first stage, the preliminary exam. So all students who register, so this concept is very simple. Register, learn, compete, and you can win. So we are going to provide all students who will register access to Huawei's learning material and the learning topics. So you register on any of the 4 tracks: network, cloud, computing, and innovation. If you choose network, you're going to do IP, or your network, or your data communications. Data communications, cybersecurity, no, go up, go back. Data communications, cybersecurity, and wireless networks. If you choose cloud, you're going to have cloud service, big data, and AI. And if you choose computing, you're going to have software and operating system. And if you choose innovation, you have to present an innovation project or using AI or IoT. So you can see some of the highlights, and the schedule is, going back to the schedule, the national final will be in December, the regional final will be in March 2024, and the global final will be in May 2024 in Shenzhen, China. So I know this is Strathmore, everyone has passports, right? Right? True or false? True, right? So I say that because I struggled. When in May, I took 20 students to China to compete, and we got the first prize in network. And I had to do so many things to get them passports last minute. So if you want to join, it's good practice to also have your passport. So it's a very hands-on competition, especially at the regional and the lab and the global stage. The global is essentially an 8-hour lab exam. And 100% of the students who reached the regional and global got placement at Huawei and at our partners. Is that great? Yeah, so it's open. The link is there. Please join. And I know someone handed you flyers. I know you're looking at them. Finally, how to transition. I know I have limited time, but this is some of the things that worked for me. When I was in campus, I was very active in engaging the industry. So I would invite all these top companies to come to my university. And then it so happened that Huawei was looking for someone and they recruited me. So join industry student programs. Huawei, we have our student ambassador program. All these other top technology companies have student ambassador programs. So research, join, it's free. Participate in ICT competitions. I remember in campus, I joined some hackathon, and I won. And I was so excited. I also got some money. So join these competitions, such as the Huawei ICT competition. The top prize at the global final is 24,000 RMB. How much is that in Kenya shillings? 24,000. I think it's times 15 or something, times 7, 15, they're about. Sorry, I'm about to conclude. And then, so pursue and pass an industry ICT certification. So this is very important also for Huawei, because we have a certification portfolio that you can access. And through the competition, we will be giving free vouchers to students, 100% free on their certification. So the certification, if you graduate, you do it at 200 USD, but through the competition, you can apply, pass the tests, and then get it for free. So get your vouchers, pass your certification. Sawa sawa. That is important. All the other vendors also have certifications. I think AWS, Microsoft, Cisco all have certifications. So it's very, very important. If you are at a hiring desk and you have your degree, I also have my degree. So what distinguishes us is, number one, your certifications. And improve your communication and soft skills. I think this goes without saying. So speak, communicate clearly, write clearly. Build relationships with lecturers. So actually my first internship was through my favorite lecturer. He just recommended me to an organization. So be friends with your lecturers, guys. Okay? Are there any lecturers here? None. But be friends with them. Don't just see them in class as people talking to you, but be friends with them. I know generally this is common, but push beyond the classroom relation or study relationship. Ask them about their lives, ask them about their children, ask them about how work is, build a relationship. And of course, when they hear someone who is recruiting, they will recommend you. So I was actually recommended and it was excellent. Finally, your CV. I receive CVs, sometimes they are 5 pages, which is really, you don't have that much experience, to be honest, as a student. So keep your CVs, and 1 page is best. If you can put everything into 1 page, 2 pages if you've been to like 3 or 4 internships. But keep it 1 page. Don't write anything on your CV that you can't talk about. Someone wrote something specific, and when asked about it, they had just passed their certification, so they wrote everything on the certification on the CV. They were asked to explain one concept on the CV, and they couldn't. So on your CV, write things, especially if you're in engineering or tech, write things that you can actually talk about. Don't just say 5G, 4G, and you can't explain what is 5G or 4G. Okay? I think that's just about it. This is our certification. ICT infrastructure and cloud, we have 3 levels: the associate level, professional level, and expert level. So if you are looking for a certification in data communications, security, storage, data center, 5G, IoT, big data and AI and cloud, just Google Huawei certification and it will lead you to this. Or join the ICT competition, which is free, and you will get an email on how you can join. So with that said, thank you very much. And I hope you've learned something about Huawei, and I look forward to the Q&A. Asante sana.